Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. And I hope everyone is having a really good pre-Christmas season, pre-holiday season. Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas or Happy Holidays, however you celebrate. But today we're going to dive into our Pendragon campaign, sort of an interlude in between type of adventure, a short adventure, hopefully one session adventure and one recording adventure. And here we are at 511, 512 Winter Court in Carleon. So when we last left the heroes, who I'll introduce in a second, we were here at Bettagrain. We had just completed the Battle of Bettagrain. They had retired slightly south to Lambor, where Arthur uh, was convalescing, having the attention of the Earl of Sanham's daughter, which everyone was apparently happy about. In the meantime, King Lot had retreated with his allies to the north, and eventually during the summer and fall, so people could return to to take care of the harvest. Arthur had returned to court to hold winter court in Carleon. So that's all I wanted to show here, and you can, of course, zoom in, Amy, if you would like to down here. I'll help with the shift pane.
Didn't get us there.
There it is. You could probably like zoom in even more. Yay. So we have the wonderful banner of King Arthur, his heraldry. And with that, I can introduce the characters, none of whom have any names under their tokens, which is quite sad and probably my fault. But I will introduce them as I have them from top to bottom here on my screen. And first, I will introduce Arlen. And they have big names here.
Uh, yeah. Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Sir Clarion, who is a knight in King Arthur's court. We got landed at the end of last time, so he now has an estate even, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't really determined where the estate might be. I have some possibilities. We could default, really, and it might be okay to default to nearby Salisbury, since the Earl of Salisbury, in his conflict with the Saxons on the southern shore here, probably has a lot of land available, or during the anarchy period between Uther and the new boy king, there's quite a lot of land that is left unattended. So that's a possibility. Or maybe in here in Escavalon near Carleon, Briand, other places. Or I could just roll it randomly using the great Pendragon campaign or the Book of Sires from Pendragon 5.2. But it would be cool if Sir Claire and Dame Linnell were neighbors of some such, maybe not next door neighbors, but maybe in the same um, earldom or county, right? So that'd be that probably would be helpful. So in any case, that's Arlen, and now we have Amy.
Hello, I'm playing Dame Linnell, and she used to be a household knight, but now she's a landed knight, I think is what they call it. Is that correct? Landed knight. Anyway, she has land just like Sir Clarion. She has her interest, which is Sir James, and she did get permission for him to stay with her. And I believe last session, Arthur gave him permission to stay with her. And the next step, in her opinion, would be she wants to go to the church this year and start praying for next year's to be very bountiful in the harvest, that she can pick the right gifts to encourage King Arthur to help her retrieve her homeland that her family lost to those evil Picts that she is notorious for hating.
Right, and that's actually not too far, truth be told. because she is from this direction. I will get on the right map. She is from this direction. I haven't quite determined exactly where, but there definitely was some upheaval during the anarchy period in Estergos. I guess this could be a good foreshadowing or hint for Dame Linnell. Her family was allied with one particular lord. He was betrayed, and there was a coup with this other lord bringing in foreign uh, foreign groups, probably the Picts, I guess, since you have a hatred for Picts, to help with this coup. And now him, I think, being your uncle, probably, I think that's how the way the relationship worked, uncle or something like that, has taken over your family displaced because they were loyalists to, or no, maybe he's not related to you, but your family was, or maybe I haven't quite decided. Anyway,
Historically, there was an Irish kingdom
yeah.
that got set up in that part of the world.
Ah, okay.
Basically, a bunch of
She's Irish, right? Yes.
yeah, a bunch of Irish raiders came in and
Ah,
took over that sort of small section down in the southwest of modern day Wales.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, there. I
So
mean,
I,
there definitely.
I have
I did look like
I
there
have
was
her
like.
history, Carl, up on the
Yeah.
screen if people want to read it,
Okay.
if they choose to.
I see. Okay.
We'll
But
go
that
back.
happened. That didn't happen. That happened a few generations ago. The Irish takeover of Estergals, right? I'm sure, right?
Right, and then there was the uprising, and then it was her father, I believe, her father's squire, I believe, Booth,
Yeah.
her father's squire.
Right. Well,
So,
anyway, something happened where your group was on the wrong side of history. You were displaced, had to flee, and at some point, maybe with Arthur's sponsorship or help, or at least sanction, you and your allies and future warband can go deal with that. But in any case, it is 512, 511, 512, the winter court in Carleon. So what's going on in court, you might ask? So Arthur is not as secure on his throne as the daily scenes in court seem to apply. Some of his supporters, for example, King Elaine of Escavalon, want to attack the rebels and aid the Saxons, but others, including Duke Ulfius, want to basically attack the Saxons to the southeast. Others, such as Sir Ector and Sir Brastias, say to hold back and rest and let the knights train and take care. Let's take care of their lands and stay here at home. However, no doubt, people say, the king will do whatever Merlin wants. So interestingly, there are several royal and noble visitors come to court. The most notable is Queen Margaz of Lothian. Some say it is a diplomatic mission to form an alliance, but probably not. Form a concession, compromise, they say. Um, with Lothian, she is the wife and the queen of Lothian, the wife of King Lot. So the court reception for the queen is magnificent as Arthur attempts to impress the wife of his greatest rival. So people can, you guys, will do the first roll here. That is what is obvious. Oh, she did bring also her three eldest sons. You learned their names are, I don't know, probably Arlen can tell us, but I will tell you. Gawain, Agravain, and Garrus. They seem to be looking around and impressed with Arthur's court, as meager as it is. And now we will roll intrigue to see if there's anything else that you guys run into or see or hear. So you guys can each roll an intrigue.
she should do a little better at it this time. Or not.
Oh, yeah, well, all right.
Definitely not.
All right.
Too
Uh,
busy asking Lamorak de Gallus what he thinks of the queen.
oh, is he? I don't think he's here. Is he? Is he here in this court?
I don't know, maybe. Well, right? Because, and I don't think Percival's around yet, but
No,
Lamorak
no.
probably would be around by now. And it
Oh,
would make,
yeah, I guess there must be multiple kings of Escavalon because is Lamorak? No, he's not. Lamorak is the one.
no, Lamorak is Pelinor's son.
Mm. Yeah, I don't think Pelennor has arrived yet.
Oh, maybe not. Well, then. Oh,
Soon,
well.
I believe soon.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, all right.
Team Linnell
Okay.
is paying more attention to, making sure she's dressed properly. Because in her mind, and this is only in her mind, the queen is there to take Jamie back, and she's not willing to let that happen.
Yeah, I guess you're not. You're not. Jamie is like staying, and he probably hides. Actually, truth be told, or avoids Queen Margaz. Potentially even tries to avoid uh, the boys, her three sons. Um, there is an incident, however, that you do observe. You do see that Queen Margaz, much maybe to Merlin's chagrin, does keep Arthur's attention when you're, because you guys are household knights still, really,
Mhm.
and vassals of Arthur directly, landed as you are vassal knights, right? Oh, I guess I was gonna say you're not with Jamie, right? You just, right? He's just now loyal in Arthur's side, right?
Correct. He was
You're
given
not, you
permission to
guys aren't,
stay and
yeah,
atone.
you guys aren't married yet or whatever, right? So,
No, to Linnell's knowledge, he has not asked to court her yet.
okay. All right. All right. So you guys, okay. You do see an incident, and here's what you run into. So it seems, it does seem like Gawain in particular does listen attentively to Arthur and Arthur's talk of chivalry and honor, and this is actually put to practice. So near the kitchens, a poor food runner during one of the events here during the winter court uh, accidentally runs into Agravain. Agravain looks like he's about to uh, beat that courtier, but Gawain kind of grabs his arm, not roughly, Agravain's arm that is, and prevents him from doing so. And there's some exchange between them. I don't know if there's a particular skill to roll if you guys want to listen in. Awareness, I guess, would be appropriate.
Awareness?
Yeah.
Apparently, we're aware.
Well, one of us is.
If I'm aware, you're aware. She'd tell you.
Right. So Clarion, you looks like they're going to get into a fight.
Mm.
Boys here in the middle of court going to embarrass themselves. Um, Linnell, you hear Gawain say, that is not proper, Agravain." She doesn't call him Sir. He doesn't call him Sir Agravain, but he does call him Agravain. And we are not in our father's court. We are in this court. Agravain goes off with a huff. The fight seems to be averted. I don't know if you guys want to do anything about it or care. They're like teenagers, really, at this point. Or I guess Gawain is near.
Seems like the characters from Lothian should have Scottish accents.
I'm not going to try a Scottish accent. Do you want to do a Scottish accent?
No.
Well, I think Dame Linnell would walk
So
after
I guess you do
him.
hear that Gawain has probably been recently knighted, while Agravain and Garrus are still at squire age.
Yeah, but I think Linnell would follow him because in her mindset, it's best to keep your enemy closer to you than further away, and him wandering the halls without permission is not where she thinks it would be safe to be.
Okay.
So she would definitely be following. And I think she would have Patrick with her too.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll for Gawain here. What's your glory?
My glory?
Yeah.
My total glory?
Mhm.
I have to look that up. It's on the other side. My total is 4,317.
Oh, I guess he would. Oh, wow. Okay. That's actually because you have that +4. I was going to give young Sir Gawain a 10 and recognize. That seems appropriate. Um, Not stellar, but then since you have a +4, Dame Linnell, that is actually a critical. So he probably does recognize you, and he approaches you. Do you?
She would bow her head and say, "Dear sir, what is it that troubles you that you leave our grand table?"
Um, Let me see. Uh,
If he stutters a bit, she would say, "Perhaps there's something I can assist with."
okay. Hmm. Okay. So he does. So I don't know, so Clara, and you could probably see this happen, I'm sure. Um, so he comes up to you and he kind of puts it doesn't put his finger in his face, but like points at you. And he says, you are the one who used witchcraft to lure one of my father's household knights away. I
Oh,
rolled,
dear sir,
just to let you know, I rolled his proud versus modest.
that's fine. She would say, "Just so that you know, things are not always as they seem. But in this case, maybe there's something I can assist you with so that you can join us back at these festivities as the winter solace is upon us. And it should be a
Well,
time
it's
of,
not quite, but
well, would he even care? She's not trying to sweet talk him, but she's trying to calm him down. Perhaps maybe what you would prefer, young sir, is a drink.
um,
As I see, you were insulted by one of our poor squires. He's new. Please forgive him. But I would be more than happy to pour you a glass of wassail if you wish.
he says I was not insulted. It was just a mistake. My brother is more hot-headed and sees things more like my father than this young boy king.
Perhaps. Would you like to sit with us on our side and enjoy some wassail? And maybe we can offer some to your brother as well, as this is a time of unity, is it not, sir? As I have heard that you have had the honor of knighthood bestowed on you. I am very happy for you.
Okay. Um, hmm. All right. Do you want to add anything, or do you want to do anything, Sir Clarion? Trying to.
I'm just gonna let Dame Linnell take point on this one.
I would like to point out she's probably not dressed in armor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're at court. It's not. There's no reason to be dressed all in armor.
No, no, it just, she doesn't have weapon. I mean, she obviously has a weapon
Mhm.
attached to her leg or within easy reach, but
Yeah. Okay. Let me gauge here. Not really. Okay, let's roll this together.
She also, under no circumstances, will use her flirting skill with this boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he's not that much younger than you, right? He would be, what, 21 is when they get knighted. You guys are not that much older, right? You're like 22, 23.
I think Dame Linnell is still 21. She has not had a birth year yet. Or have we gone through a year and she should be 22 now?
Yeah, I guess you guys were knighted in 10, right? So you guys are 21.
Would she be 22?
Oh,
Well,
she's actually
23.
older.
She's 23 now.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know how old Sir Clarion is. Oh man, what can I do here?
Also 23.
All right. You know what? He's gonna hang out with you guys, and he asks a lot of questions about King Arthur's court. I want to see if he recognizes. Well, he recognized Sir Dame Linnell. All right. He goes, and after a while, as things come up, he said he was his father kept him away from battle at Pendragon. I guess he says, I guess protecting his heir. But I've heard tales because you young knights, you took a banner.
Oh, yes. And she would wink at him and say, and just to put the record straight, um, Sir James is not here necessarily by my trickery or witchery, but I have beaten him in battle twice. So perhaps he's not the best one to have serving your father. And she'll kind of jab him on the arm and go to toast him with the wassail, kind of trying to lighten the mood.
Okay. Yeah, so he hangs out, like I said. I'm trying to think if anything would come out about him. He says, well, if we ever meet in battle,
Ah, my dear sir, if we ever met in battle, I would assume you would do your best to defeat me, as you would be insulted if I did not do my best to defeat yourself.
give me a, would it be?
She's trying to be honest.
I'm gonna do something, I don't know, probably not. No, I know, but I'm gonna try.
Honesty is really just not good.
Let's do like a intrigue versus his trusting. Both of you,
Intrigue?
both of you guys can roll an intrigue versus his trusting.
Okay. She's okay with it.
Well, I only rolled a 4. All right. All right. He catches himself before he finishes the sentence. No, he made his trusting. I need to roll the other one. All right. No, he made his trusting. Okay. So that means okay. He says, let us hope that we do not fight at noon. I think I
Why,
have
dear
right.
sir, at noon? I have found most
Then he
battles
realizes
when
he
you
probably
least
had too much. He goes, he's probably said too much. He goes, I need to be excused. I appreciate your company. You are very hospitable here. Um,
Absolutely, dear sir. Do you need to be
winking with
taken
a
back
and
to
it was
your room or
winking with a potential enemy knight or an enemy king of the future.
enemy is such a horrible word, especially at these festive seasons. May we just refer to not as close friends?
All right. Well, he bows, takes his leave. Soon, the entourage of Queen Margaz and her sons leave. Um, and yep. And then as fall rolls into winter, Uh, you guys can make an attempt another intrigue check.
Before I make my intrigue check, can I lean over to Sir Clarion and say, based on his comment, I think there might be a tax on us made at around noon. I just don't know the day.
I think he's got the Marcus Furious Camillus disease.
Possibly. They all do, don't they?
Well, not everybody.
Especially in Lot's Corner, they tend to. I will have to ask Jamie if he knows anything of this.
I think you're thinking of something else, Linnell.
Yes. So
Awesome.
you do hear rumor comes back from the north, maybe through Jamie's contacts that he might still have
Mhm.
in Lothian, that apparently Queen Margaux is pregnant.
Uh,
Mm.
Right. Let's see. Winter court does finally arrive, and it is Christmas court. And everyone, of course, is scrambling around what to do, what should we get for whom. And then you guys are thinking, maybe, because you did mention earlier that you were looking for a gift for your lord, who is King Arthur. But what is a noble gift for King Arthur?
Mm. What do
Right.
you get the man who already has all the swords?
Right. Well,
well,
he
Linnell,
has one sword. He has Sir Clarent right now, right? So
Yeah.
is this just Clarion and I talking?
potentially. But you guys are in good with like the
We could go try to find Merlin. He
oh, you can
probably
try to find
knows.
Merlin. This is true.
Yeah.
Yes, but before we find Merlin, perhaps the best gift from the two of us to our Lord is the use one time, and only one time, because that's all that there is, of my whistle.
I think we're supposed to save that for a battle, right?
What's that? The whistle?
The
A
whistle?
special
Yeah,
whistle.
you don't want to summon the wolves now.
No, I would. He doesn't. Arthur doesn't know I have the whistle.
I don't know if there's a good way to wrap blowing a whistle is the thing.
That is true.
That
I
was
guess.
that was given to you guys though. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, also, yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to give it away because it's like a special magical thing. I think
No,
we're
I
supposed to use it.
I wouldn't give the whistle to him. I would inform him that, we have made allies on his behalf since he's such a great lord, and more or less because he has Merlin, that we have the one-time use of this whistle for added protection. But if you don't think that's a good
Well,
present,
I
that's
guess
fine.
again, I don't really know how to wrap that, so
It's true. I mean,
You mean like wrap, like physically wrap, or wrap like
yeah, like like so that you can open it under the tree, right?
yeah. Oh
but they
yes,
wouldn't have a
the tree
tree.
thing. Yeah, the tree thing. It's this tradition brought over from the continent apparently, where
Also, I think we already told Merlin about the whistle,
yes, you
right?
did tell him. So yeah, you
Yeah.
told Merlin about the whistle
Right. But we
in
have
the
not
in the
told
encounter.
King Arthur about the whistle. That was my thinking.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a question of getting an audience with King Arthur, right?
Mhm.
Um, and Linnell would say to Sir Clarion, perhaps maybe we should get baby booties to send to Lot for Christmas, as I do believe his queen is pregnant.
Don't think that is a gift that would go over very well.
I didn't mean it to go over well at all. It just would bring some levity and some excitement to the beginning of the year.
You are able to gain audience with King Arthur if you wish.
I would wish. I think Clarion would wish, but do we want to meet with Merlin first?
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to talk to King Arthur about the whistle.
Well, I don't think talking to King Arthur about the whistle is really a present, is the thing, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So it seems like,
Well, then I'll say you find with that roll. I'll say you find Merlin.
yeah, let's talk to Merlin about what would be a cool thing that two enterprising knights could, you know, do for the kingdom or find or whatever else. He's always got schemes going on, that Merlin.
Okay.
Well, okay. I mean, my question to Merlin would be, I mean,
Well,
we've seen
when
the
you
power,
catch up with Merlin,
yes. We've seen the power of his magic. Can he bring that magic that maybe the king could speak to his father one more time from beyond?
that seems like sorcery to me, but
He is a sorceress. He's a sorcerer, so one would think so.
all right. Well, as you
There's
catch,
only one kind of necromancy allowed at
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah, I don't think necromancy is a good idea at Christmas. So if you say that to Merlin,
No, I'm talking to Clarion.
oh, okay.
I
So
don't think we should do that. I think maybe Merlin, because I'm sure there's something, or like we don't even, right? Because Arthur was Sir Ector's ward, right? So maybe we
yeah,
can go, like, if there's a special type of food that would like have a sentimental value or something, like a specific pastry that we could bring for him or something, right?
Mhm.
That would be a nice treat.
That would be fun. I know my parents always gave their lord one third of our earnings at Christmas
Or
because
like
usually
if there's
they
like a
like
special
money.
horse or like a cup or maybe
What
a
if we
book.
found, what if we went on quest to find perhaps the Holy Grail?
that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. Strike that from the record. You don't know anything about that. It
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet.
Well, I've heard of this fellow Joseph of Arimathea, but I don't know anything about whether or not he has a cup or not.
Okay. I don't rightfully know what to get him.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess there would be probably the mythical cup.
Yeah, they would know
The,
about the
they would know
existence
about the
of the
mythical
Grail as
cup
like a
shared at the.
concept. Yeah.
Ah, so Dame Linnell must be foreshadowing the
Yep.
future. All right,
I was just trying
her
to,
eyes go in the back of her head when she says that.
Hmm.
All right. However, you do eventually catch up with Merlin, and he's talking to somebody, someone you recognize. You've seen him in and out of court, and he's kind of talking, kind of very, he's like gesticulating, talking to Merlin. Merlin seems amused, and he goes, "Oh, my gold digger friends."
gold digger friends? Okay.
Yeah, remember we found the gold so that Arthur could pay
Yes.
his army?
I think I would prefer knight to gold digger kind of makes us sound a little bit like we're after something we're not, but that's okay.
Our knights always in want of advancement. Because here, I introduce you to my friend Braun. Braun is a
Hello.
Braun is a hunter. He has a strange tale.
Oh, and what kind of strange tale might Braun have?
Do you need us to find a doctor to help get it removed?
Ah, you are amusing, Sir Clarion. I see what you said there. I, contrary to popular belief, am not half demon. I do not have a tail.
That's good.
Braun, however, and Braun's like, he's like, he kind of bows to you knights and he says, yes, yes. I, one night when I was in the woods nearby in the Nain Forest, just to the west here of Grand Carleon, when I was searching for hinds for the table of the good king, well, one night I came upon a glade in the woods wherein danced a small silvery ash tree. I know that they are bringing this, and then Merlin says, I know they are bringing this Western, sorry, continental uh, tradition to court. A dancing tree. I think that is preposterous, but hunters,
Mm.
hunters, and what they dig for and eat in the woods.
I think they're doing something other than just eating in the woods to have a tale like that.
Well, what is it that you want, my laborious knights?
Well, first, as always, to wish you a happy Christmas.
Well,
And also to
that is
you.
coming up.
Yes. Sir Clarion, did you want to tell him or you want me to ask him? It's up to you.
About like the president.
Correct. We need assistance with the present.
Yeah.
Besides, I think perhaps you have been hit on the head one too many times. I suggest that you listen to this hunter.
You think we should bring him a silver ash tree?
It's a dancing tree. How marvelous would that be in court? Or not? Or
Well,
perhaps
it seems
fail
like
there?
kind of the wrong time of year, right? Because ash trees are mostly deciduous, right?
Well, that is
So
the
it won't
thing.
be.
The hunter said, well, that is the thing. It still has its leaves. It is a miracle.
Oh, well, you should have started with that. Dancing tree, and it still has its leaves. Mm,
Yes. Right, because
cool,
the
cool.
rest of the forest, of course, has lost its leaves, mostly barren, except for the occasional stand of pine or fir.
Mm-hmm.
But this ash tree, yeah, Merlin,
That's cool.
And
Liddell,
you'll
I think
take.
we should go find this ash tree.
I certainly would be interested in that, but we would need this hunter to possibly show us where to find this tree.
Ron, you want to help us find the tree again?
he looks at Merlin, who like looks at him with a stern look, and Merlin says, "Yes, I will help you find this tree.
Oh,
You
Nice.
will tell the king if it is a worthy gift."
Yeah,
If
yeah.
if we find the dancing ash tree, we will make sure that the king knows that you were the one that led us to this and suggested it.
All right. So okay, I guess you're gonna go search the forest for the dancing tree. Yay. The hook is taken. All right.
Except every time you say ash tree, I think of ashtray.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay.
All right. Well, with good brawn leading the way, I guess you grab your squires.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and I'm sure
Maybe
that
I
we
guess we
would.
should discuss like a plan. Do we just want to find the tree and like lead the king to it, or are we going to find it and we're gonna like dig it up and put it in like a pot to bring it back or something?
Well, I mean, if it is what this hunter says, perhaps bringing it back intact is the way to go.
Mm.
Maybe Merlin can teach us a spell that will allow us to keep it alive.
Is it a full-size tree or more like a sapling?
The hunter says, I feel like, well, it was not a sapling. We would need a big wagon.
Mm. But that could
I
be
think that
cool.
could be doable.
Yeah, I could transplant. I
A
guess.
wagon full of dirt, he says.
Yeah.
I can't see this going wrong at all.
All right, let's go. We can go get a wagon and have a lot of dirt, and maybe we can go find it and bring some workmen or something to help, dig it up.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should have the wagon built perhaps in a circular pattern with some stones around it so that this is something that we could bring into the court and then it can be dragged back out of the court when needed.
that seems like a lot of work, says Braun, being the advocate.
Already on wheels?
Stone on wheels? What?
No, like little stones around it so that the dirt stays with the
If you
roots.
build a wagon, he says, I understand you are a knight, madam. Wagon filled with dirt. It is enclosed.
I know, but it's ghastly to look at dirt. I was trying to make it look pretty.
Well, I think we could. So I think the thing to do is to bring it back and then like plant it here, like at the court, right? Like in a garden or something, right? And
Middle
that
of the
way,
courtyard.
Yeah, that way everybody can enjoy it.
Yes.
The dancing tree.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna uh yeah, give me a you can either use station to get people to do this, or you can use your folklore to find, I guess folklore like persuade to persuade some of the commoners to do this, or station like you're gonna come do this for me. So I don't know how you want to, but not station
Um,
as a pat, but station kind of more as a like what I described, not like in a
Hmm.
passion capacity, right? So you won't go melancholy if you fail, but
Hmm.
you're lording over. So
so
folklore.
you want, I mean, I'll try folklore, but if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna have no choice but to do station because station's higher, but I'll go for it with folklore. We'll see.
Okay,
She made it.
you made it. All right,
Nice.
you get a group of people.
Am I supposed to be checking things I've made or no?
I would check the intrigue roll that you made.
Okay.
That's kind of important. Um, you've done a couple, and unfortunately, Sir Clarion, you haven't made any roll.
Yeah, I haven't made any rolls yet, so
Typical roll 20
But
Arlen today.
Arlen hasn't rolled his folklore or
No, you can check your folklore too. I think that's also, by the way.
all right, I'll
no,
roll
no,
my
no. I meant Arlen hasn't. Don't say he hasn't made anything yet. Well, he made it.
yeah.
See?
All
All
right,
we
but
had to do
I
was
guess
throw it
you get a good crew. I
Yes.
would say you should probably check your worldly as well, both of you.
Worldly.
Yeah, because people are unless you're trying to hide it, but then that would be kind of deceitful, right?
Um,
Because
I would like to
here's
point
my
out that Dame Linnell has a 14 in deceitfulness, so she's
well,
legendary.
almost legendary, but are
We'll
noted for
see.
her deceitfulness. All right, no, but my rationale is it's a bunch of knights taking a work crew out into the woods. What are knights don't do that kind of stuff, you know? You know what I
Well,
mean?
but that's not really worldly. That's more, right? Because worldly is opposed to spiritual versus,
Oh, okay.
So,
I thought worldly is also to like given to mundane stuff.
I guess, kind of. I don't know. It's sort of different. Like,
well, I mean, Dame Linnell would offer anybody that's coming out to do this to pay them out of her wages so that they can have a happier Christmas this year.
I guess it seems to me it could also be modest, right? That the knights are
Oh,
willing to take on this type of work, right? Because that's kind of a classic knightly adventure sort of thing, is that the knight is told to do something that isn't really fitting for the knight's station, but they do it anyway because it's the right thing to do.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. I buy that argument. We'll check modest for people.
All right.
I mean, it's up to you. I'll check
Okay.
whatever.
Do you have
But
like a work crew so you probably find like a guy with the wagon, you know, so like Dame Linnell was in charge of finding the wagon and the dirt, and Sir Clarion was in charge of finding the work crew. So you find like a drover with the wagon, probably a couple mules, or maybe even like probably a couple draft horses, heavy
well,
bags of
can
dirt.
I also, since we have the four Pictish ponies, can I offer to allow the crew that's going with us to ride the Pictish ponies so that way they're not
They'll,
exhausted when we get there?
yeah, they'll ride them for sure.
They don't get to keep them, but they can ride them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So whoever has the best hunting, give me a hunting roll with a +5.
Um, my hunting is probably not the best. I have a 5.
I have an 8.
So it'll be a
So I'll
13 because
do,
Braun is
yeah,
leading the way, he hopes.
I'll do hunting +5. Yes.
Nice. Okay. So with Braun uh and his tale of discovery, it is easy for him to find the glade of the dancing tree. Okay.
Did I
You
see
arrive.
anything? Do I see anything believable about this tree dancing?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, okay.
But I am there now.
You're there now.
Not quite wintry Welsh forest. I guess the first snow hasn't come, but it is kind of, you know, you guys are down. I put you guys down here.
Mhm.
Okay. I say we go for this one. It's smaller.
No, well,
Well,
That's probably not the one we're here for, though.
well,
there's one specific one that's dancing that I think is the one we want.
Yes, I know.
that one does look like it is sort of dancing, which is quite interesting. But I do have, don't worry. I know this is an ash tree, but it looks like it's dancing, so it's kind of neat.
It is cute. Looks like it's bowing.
I might be. Yeah. All right. So you come to the glade of the dancing tree, more or less.
Well,
Arrive
Damon,
sort of, you're right, sort of early evening. It's cold, but it's not, like I said, it's cold, but it's not quite snowy yet. You know, as we're maybe it's a little unseasonably warm. Um, I mean, sorry, there's it's unseasonably dry. There probably should be snow on the ground already, but there is not. Um, Everyone, of course, would like a white happy Christmas, but it has not arrived yet. In any case, yeah, so you
well,
arrive, like I said, here towards evening, and you see that this tree is dancing.
Hmm.
You can both attempt an awareness check.
to see if I see it dancing.
No, I mean, you see it dancing. That's not a problem. You can check your hunting, by the way, Arlen.
I failed. She is contemplating getting it dug up, and in the back of her mind, she's remembering the tales that her parents taught her about you ask the tree for permission to dig it up. So she's thinking more like that. So she's not paying attention to whether or not it's dancing.
Mhm.
And she's contemplating how to inform Sir Clarion that she feels like we should talk to the tree.
All right. Well, you do see, I know no one made it. That's fine. But it's okay because this is pretty. This clue is pretty obvious. It's the other thing. Couple things. So first, you do see a pile of nearly gone supplies of food nearby. Um, you also feel like you're being watched.
Oh, we're always being watched. That's a given anymore.
And Braun, and you could tell already the all your horses are a little nervous. Braun and the other and that your work crew are looking around also very nervous. And Braun says, I don't remember something being out there, but there's something out there.
There's always something out there. Can Dame Linnell go up and talk to the tree?
Okay. Yeah, so there's a pot, like here's a pile of things. Also, as you study the tree, you can attempt a folklore check.
Not flirting, no flirting with the tree. No, she's failing,
The dancing tree.
but she still wants to talk to the tree.
Okay.
Very focused.
So you see that the hunter was telling the truth, although it's very strange here. The work crew says, I don't know if we want to dig it up at night. Perhaps we should make camp, good sirs.
Oh, I would not do anything about digging up this tree until I ask its permission. If
Uh,
it is dancing, it is alive. If it is alive, it can tell me.
I guess that the best way to model what you're trying to do, it keeps dancing as you approach it. Um, probably, I feel like intrigue is probably the best way. Okay, yeah, probably attempt an intrigue roll.
I'm sure Sir Clarion and the rest of
Does
them are
not
probably laughing, but that's okay.
does
Intrigue?
not talk back.
I don't expect it to talk back, but no, I failed.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
it's
because
just
I
I don't know.
myself
It
am
seems
not
like it's
dancing.
random movements to you. It's just dancing, but it keeps dancing. All right, there's a. Is anyone going to examine the pile of stuff?
Is the pile next to the tree?
No, it's like in the at the edge of the glade nearby. So
Okay.
Clarion, I
Then,
guess that's up to you.
Yeah,
yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
happily.
say Linnell is not near it, so she would not do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll examine the
All right. So
pile of stuff.
markings upon the material clearly show that it belongs to a knight.
Mm.
Can you read? Is there a read anymore? A read skill?
I think knights.
Most knights were able to read. I think we looked that up.
Literacy. There's a literacy.
Literacy. No, I cannot read. I'm literacy 0.
Oh wow. Okay.
Where is that on our sheet?
Literacy. Yeah, I think
It's a skill under intrigue.
it's right under intrigue.
I have a literacy of 3,
All right. Wait, what? Hold on. There might be other things that Sir Claire on it might
but
see.
she's not there, so she
No,
can't
no,
read
no,
it.
no. Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
feel as though we're not that far from the castle, right?
I'd say you're probably like a couple days ride. I just fast forwarded.
I don't know what we would roll for it, but I would assume that maybe recognize to see if you could recognize
Oh,
the
recognize
knights.
recognize could work. Yes. Good idea. Good idea. Recognize.
Mhm.
Let me see if you
Sorry.
can. That's a good idea. You could as you look at the markings on the thing there. Yeah, add a plus. It would be a +2 to your recognize as you look at these.
Yes.
Oh,
Arion. Oh, perfect. That's awesome. I definitely check that. So you can't read what, who it belongs to, but you do recognize the heraldry. And it says, and it does. Is that right? And it's actually it's not. Yeah, it's not his shield or anything, but it just on these belongings. You find a small patch as it's like embroidered, maybe even hastily, but you see that the heraldry and even this bag maybe this it is belongs to a Sir Terrafor.
Sir Terrafor?
Yeah, and so he's like he's a young knight from Escavalon. You had heard, since you got a critical there, you had heard that he had been killed by a bear
Mm.
last year sometime.
Mm.
Also, I think nearby this stuff, you do see that there is a supply of food that is nearly gone.
Mm. Well, I guess I'll wait for Dame Linnell to finish talking to the tree and then I'll
The tree
call her
keeps
over.
dancing, keeps dancing.
I'll
She
say,
will, she'll bow to the tree and then excuse herself over to Sir Clarion.
Okay.
I'll point out the stuff and point out the heraldry and tell her about Sir Terrafor, who was killed by a bear, apparently. And yet here's his stuff.
Is it possible that Sir Terrafor is the dancing tree?
Did the tree respond when you talked to it?
No, it's just dancing, but I don't
Hmm.
speak tree.
Well, I guess we could
I
ask
can,
the
So,
tree if it's
so
Sir Terraform.
all right. So I guess so. The work camp is still looking at you for like. I guess the squires are making camp, but the work crew is like they're looking at you. They got their saws and axes out, um, or they're well. I guess they would have brought. No, you didn't. You didn't want to cut down the tree. You wanted to dig it up, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
correct.
Shovels and
they have their
picks and
shovels
stuff.
and stuff and picks and stuff and right, just in case there are rocks under the roots. But
Mhm.
they're kind of
Well, to
looking for
break up the
they're looking for
ground, right?
direction. They're looking for direction.
Yeah, I think we can say confidently, let's not try to get it up tonight. And so we'll
Definitely
camp
not.
out here and work on it in the morning, seems like.
Did we see any bear tracks or any evidence that Sir Terrafor was attacked by a bear here?
But no one has looked yet.
Can we look?
I think that was just the rumor that I heard, but we could look around and see if
Yeah, I mean you
there's
got
like,
bronze, so you can get a +5 to your hunting. Whoever wants to.
yeah, I'll look for some bear evidence with
Okay.
bronze help.
Can I go back and talk to the tree again and ask it if it is Sir Terrafor?
Um,
These people that came to help us are going to think I'm absolutely insane, but
Probably. That that's the
if
tale. That's the tale. The crazy tale at court. That's the gift to Arthur. His young knights are insane. They talk to trees anyway.
back to trees.
You do find bear tracks. I'll let you try your intrigue again. That's a new revelation, so I'll let you try your intrigue again.
Me?
Yes, but I'll give you a +5.
Thank you. Success.
You think the tree is nodding yes.
Ah,
You do find bear tracks. You and Braun are like, oh, it's a big bear. It's a big bear. It's a big bear tracks.
Mm.
well, Linnell wants to come back without Bron really hearing her much and lean over to Clarion and say, I do believe the tree is acknowledging his name to be Sir Terrafor.
Mm.
So
We
either
found.
he was turned into a tree, and this is not really a bear that we're looking at,
No, it's a bear.
or huh?
It's a bear. No, I mean, Sir Clarion and Braun have found bear tracks.
Right, but
They're pretty.
again,
Also, they are pretty recent.
but Sir Clarion saw a wolf when Linnell saw a man, and it was a werewolf type thing. So she's insinuating that perhaps maybe this bear is more than what it seems.
Mm. Or it's like Apollo and Daphne sort of thing. Mm.
Could be. So should I ask the tree if the tree would like to travel to court with us and have a wonderful garden to be in and,
I guess we should ask. Seems like if we're able to communicate with Sir Terrafor the tree, we should probably ask if he wants to go anywhere.
I'll do
Are
that while you're looking
you
with
gonna,
um with the hunter for the bear.
are you gonna
Because
try to
I
track
think,
down the bear?
I think that party's gonna think I'm pretty insane by now, but
Uh,
I'll go back to the tree while Claire looks for the bear tracks.
I guess we probably will. I mean, it seems like figuring out at least what direction the bear is, if it's like got a lair nearby or something. Don't really want to like confront the bear yet, at least not without Linnell. Um, but it seems like it'd be a good idea to kind of figure out what's going on.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe why don't we just wait, Linnell? Why don't you go ask Terrafor and we'll all go together after the bear?
That sounds like a good idea because he might know if the bear is actually there to protect something or because it doesn't seem logical that he was killed by a bear, maybe turned into a tree by a sorcerer, or maybe this is a spell that could be broken by Merlin.
Mm.
But I will speak with the tree again. And she would take her extra blanket, that they would have for riding with, and she would sit next to the tree so that way she wasn't looking down at the tree, kind of at the same level in her mind.
What are you going to ask the tree then?
Going to ask the tree if he would accept an invitation to court. And she would tell him that, this fine, happy Christmas season is upon us, and we were told that a dancing tree would be a wonderful gift for our Lord. Not that I think you should be a gift, but I do feel as though if you wish to return with us, we certainly would entertain the thought of transporting you there and making sure you're watered and fed, and if you're cold, have a blanket. And I think you would be the belle of the ball, shall we say, the grand tree of the court. But alas, the decision is up to you.
Um, I don't know. You feel like the tree is like trying to plead with you. It's hard to say if it's like, oh, perfect.
Is it pleading like it's been bewitched and it wants to be released from this?
What kind of questions are you asking it?
Is it a dancing tree by choice, or was it magically transformed and needs assistance in assuming its human form again?
To the first question, it says it shakes its head. The second question, it nods its head.
And she will ask, is this the work of the Picts? Because, I completely agree that the Picts are the purposeful scapegoat for everything right now. I don't like the Picts. Kind of known for it.
It shakes its head. The tree shakes its head.
So it was the Picts.
It shakes its head, not nods its head.
Oh, no to the Picts? Okay.
Right. There, I got brawn. I don't think we need the work party.
Can you walk? That
Uh,
would be her next question to the tree.
all the
Or
while,
do
by the
we?
way, all the while it keeps dancing. It's like it does not want to stand still or let its roots kind of sink into the
Go.
ground, I guess, as it were. It's
Mm.
dancing.
Oh.
And what was I gonna say? What was the last thing you asked? I'm sorry. I never heard.
If he can walk.
It shakes its head. Seemingly, it can only dance.
I guess we should uh tree terraform. Do you know how you might have this curse lifted from you?
Um, it points. You think it points in a certain direction.
Hmm.
Would we
Well, I
know
meant
if
more
that?
as it was okay for him to say yeah, just yes or no for that, and then we could work on, extra questions about. But yeah, point certain direction. Is it the direction that the bear tracks go?
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Hmm. Well, Linnell would ask Patrick to gather Sir Terrafor's items to travel back with us.
Hmm.
That way he has something to do while we're doing this.
Okay.
And she'll ask the tree, shall we find the bear first, or do you wish to go to court first? And you can shake your head no if you don't want to go to court first, or shake your head yes if you'd like to go to court first.
I think it shakes its head first.
So no first. Okay. Then
Yeah.
Linnell would tell Clarion perhaps we should find the bear first, and we can ask these nice, incredibly nice townsfolk to watch the tree while we're gone, make sure no harm comes to it.
Yeah, yeah. That seems like a good idea. As maybe we should wait for tomorrow morning to go find the bear, since it's probably getting on into
Yeah,
evening.
it's nighttime, but
Well, absolutely. Would Dame Linnell know anything she could give the tree that would be like food? Or can she only water it?
doesn't seem like it needs water. It is Wales. It probably is misty and rainy and cold.
Mhm.
Well, if it's cold, she'll wrap the blanket around the base of the tree
It
so
kind of
that
keep
he stays.
it kind of kicks it off like it doesn't want to be restrained.
Oh,
Well, and
okay.
Dame Linnell, I don't know if you've heard, but trees take in energy from the sun instead of eating food, much like our friend Sir Gawain.
Okay. I was trying to make him feel like himself.
Okay.
So she'll bow to the tree and, you know, head back to her bedroll.
All right. Okay. So I guess are we gonna keep take watches? I'm assuming.
I'm assuming so. I think we would ask um Hunter Braun to take the first watch, right? So that way Clarion and I can get some sleep for our travels in the morning.
Okay.
Or does that not sound logical to you, Clarion?
I'm not sure. I think we can do whatever kind of watch order we want, but having, I mean, since there's a fair few of us, it seems like we can do fairly fast watch rotation if we're including everybody, as if it's just like us and Braun and maybe the squires. That's not quite as many people, but
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, you could. Well, if you have the squires on watch, that's a squire roll. If it's you guys, it's an awareness roll. Braun is a hunter, so his awareness might be okay.
yeah. Well, that would be
Um,
five, right? Two squires, the two of us, and Braun. So that's a
Okay.
pretty
All right.
easy short watch for everybody.
mhm.
All right. So
If you wish, you may sleep first, or do you want me to sleep first? It's entirely up to you. As you are the more senior of the two of us, and I don't mean old, just been a night longer than me.
I think we should, like draw straws or something for watch order.
I'll take first. It's okay. You sleep, you rest.
okay. All right. So is it Linnell, Braun, Clarion, Squires?
Did you
Sure,
wish?
sounds good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna roll a physical dice, so I don't have to. So I always forget to. I use like the GM hidden dice there, but I always forget to put it back, and then it becomes important. Oh, okay. Dame Linnell, give me an awareness roll. Attempt an awareness roll.
An awareness roll.
Yep.
She failed. She's sleepy.
All right. No, well, roll energetic if you think you're sleepy, but you,
Well, no, I mean, I'm just because she failed, I was coming up with she's not aware of what's happening, apparently.
okay. Well, oddly enough, I failed too. All right, you hear a roar,
Hmm.
and so I guess we'll have let's say you guys are camping over here.
If I heard a roar, I think she would be intrigued enough to try
Oh,
and figure out where
oh,
it was coming from
it's coming.
the area where the bear would be over here.
You see a bear. I guess it'd be bigger than
Ah,
that.
well, Linnell would definitely wake
Yeah, well, I guess we could roll. You see it. It's a bear.
yes.
It's a large bear.
She would wake Patrick up and ask Patrick to go rouse everybody.
All right.
And
Yeah, I guess we'll do this. So Clarion, give me an energetic roll, please. and then you can make a squire roll.
No.
All right, Amy, you can attempt a squire roll.
Please be good. Please let my little squire be up. He's a good squire.
Did you raise the age of the squires already? Because that should happen during winter phase.
Yes, I think they went from 15 to 16.
Did they start at 14? Okay.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah, I started at 14
All right.
up to
Okay.
16.
My squire is awake,
Okay.
which makes sense because his knight's awake. He would be restless in his sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, so this bear kind of like growls at you. I guess would it be a valor roll for against the bear?
It's just growling. It's not attacking, right?
Yeah, but like it's still trying to like intimidate. I guess I need to look. I need to look to see if like a standard bear requires especially a large bear requires a valor roll to stand tall, stand.
Is he standing on his back feet? I thought he was just standing there
No,
growling.
it's gonna rear up and try to like intimidate.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
attacking right away, but um
I don't know. Do we have intimidate?
no, you guys don't have them till usually things try to intimidate you guys and you know, do something about it. Hmm.
She'd offer to sing him a lullaby, but she would probably epically fail at that. That's for sure. Didn't go over well at court when she was singing.
Yeah, I guess do they not in the sixth edition book, do they not have like a bestiary?
Don't know. Is there a
I'm
little
looking
like
for
appendixy thing on here? Search compendium. Bear. No matching results to bear.
yep. No matching results to bear. Bear false witness,
Beast either.
bearing children. Oh, there it is. Okay. So when you're making the heraldry on your
That's my heraldry. I think I flip it to get to that, right? But not
yeah.
right now.
No, when you're making heraldry, there's a bear. But I'm looking.
We could take a brief pause while you look that up.
No, it won't take me long because I know where else I can look if I don't find it there.
Hmm.
Huh.
I think right now Dame Linnell would be shaking her head, thinking I should have put more in my devotion to God than just 5.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
she does have a 13 in speech and spiritual, so
Mhm. Features and beasts.
beasts. This is turning into Beauty and the Beast.
Perhaps.
That's a dancing tree and not a beauty, but that's okay. Linnell is still
Okay.
trying to figure out how a bear turned a man into a tree that dances, unless the bear is also not what he
So you
seems
do
and
need
is
to attempt a valor roll.
a valor roll.
Mhm.
She has a 16 in valor.
Yep.
She was successful.
Right. So you stand fast. You don't. Well, knights would not cower to this creature, but I guess the result, if you fumble, you will flee in terror. If you fail, you're reluctant to close for the beast for 1 round, and then you can attempt again. but you made it, so you could do whatever you want.
She would like to walk slowly, not all the way up, but up to here.
Okay.
And she would like to, I'm assuming she has like dried meat or something with her that's kind of their rations. And she would like to throw it out to the bear and say, I'm sure you're hungry, my dear sir. Eat, as we are all friends here.
Yeah, this is not a small brown bear. I mean, it's not a small black bear. This is like a
I know, but
bear.
this is what Linnell is thinking she could do because last time she did this, it ended up not being a wolf, so she's convinced this may not be a bear. Plus, she has to give Patrick time to go wake everybody up anyways.
Okay. Well, that's a rather now I saw what I had to roll, but you're fine. Okay.
Oh, did I roll the wrong thing?
No, and in fact, you actually so there's like a -4 to the valor check for it, but you
Then it
got
would have been,
you actually got a critical. All right, so you're not scared at all of
oh,
the bear. All right,
okay.
because such it is a big bear. All right, so all right, you're shaken awake by Patrick, Sir Clarion.
Say again.
You are aroused to wakefulness by Sir Clarion. Braun is up as well. So he kind of looks at the bear and is like, "Oh." He can kind of move forward, but he's like very reluctant. I guess you said you move forward. Yeah, you said you move forward, right, Amy?
Hmm.
Okay, so Clarion, you're awake.
All right. Shall I roll my valors to see how I feel about the bear?
Yeah, you can go out and see the bear. I guess it's more like this size here. Yeah.
All right. You said -4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're good.
All right.
Yeah. Knowing probably a creature, fierce creature might have been in the woods, you could have slept with your armor if you wished.
Yeah, I figured. Seems like since we were only planning on
Um,
being out here one night, that
yeah.
didn't make sense.
Okay. All right. What would you like to do, Dame Linnell? So Claire,
Well, I put the food there and I'm offering it to the bear. I would have put it there and then backed a little away so that, but I have no weapons drawn at the moment.
oh, okay. Huh.
I'm trying not to seem like I'm being aggressive to the bear. But she would speak to it like she was speaking to the tree as if it's a person as well, maybe trapped in a bear body. She doesn't know, so
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. It growls a lot.
yes.
Like I said, and when you do not, since you said you do not, you don't have your weapon drawn, but you approach it, it looks at the meat, it moves forward, kind of slaps it aside, and then you don't know where it came from, but there's a rune carved stick in its mouth, and it gives it to you.
She will take it graciously and say, "Thank you, sir. What may I give you in return?"
All right. So Clarion, what do you do?
I guess I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna
You see that exchange. Dame Linnell doesn't have her weapon drawn. The bear slaps
yeah.
inside its like whatever meat was given, but gives Amy a rune carved stick.
So I'm gonna
He's
check to
scared of
make
Dame Linnell.
sure, yeah, check to make sure Squire's getting everybody up.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna sort of, try to I guess I'm gonna try to manage that, be like helping getting people awake, but making sure that nobody's gonna do anything, so no sudden movements, that sort of thing,
Okay.
since I don't know how the workmen are gonna react to the bear.
Yeah, okay. Um,
This is becoming an old hat for poor Clarion. Linnell walks right
Now
up to
I
Anna.
say your squires are not going to flee because they're your squires, but we check out the workmen. Uh, None of them. One of them is like, "Ooh, that'd make a nice rug." The other one, are like not cowering, but like, "What's a what? What is Dame Linnell doing? It's gonna swipe her in half. All right. Uh,
Classic.
okay. So suddenly you can understand the bear's speech. She says, this is my glade. That is my tree.
Oh, but dear sir, I believe that
It
tree
sounds like
used
a
to be.
it sounds like a woman, by the way.
Oh, my dear lady, I do believe that tree is Sir Terrafor. Were you once also a human, like Sir Terrafor is now a tree?
Yes, that is that foul man's name.
Did he do something to you?
Not to me, but to my daughter.
Who might have cast the spell on you and Sir Terrafor that maybe we can rectify this?
Uh, yeah, so you only hear like growls and stuff, right? But so then it says, uh, I am I can change as I wish. I have cursed Sir Terrafor because of his betrayal to my daughter.
Was he supposed to marry your daughter?
You can see that you can probably see Sir Clarion because Amy's focused on talking to the rather large bear. That the tree is still dancing but kind of cowering as well.
Mhm.
Uh, let's see. Oh, she says, Sir Terrafor, try he. Let's see. She didn't call him. She says this man. She didn't call his name. She goes, this man. He uh he made entreaties towards my daughter, and when romance did occur, he did let me know that his intent, or he did let her know that his intention of bringing back her, a woman of the forest, an unlanded woman, back as his wife would never occur. Broken-hearted, she ran back to me, her mother. I chased
Well,
the I
may I
night.
please
That's probably,
offer,
huh?
may I please offer a suggestion? Perhaps the thing to do is ask him to do the right thing and marry your daughter. If it is what you wish, we could try to make that happen. And if not, he could live as a dancing tree in the court of King Arthur for the rest of his days, where
That's
he'll be
like an
just a
awful,
spectacle.
awful. Yeah. All right. Well, the witch she says, well, if you can get that dastardly man to do that, like I said, my daughter ran back to me weeping.
Where is he
I
now?
specialize in shape-shifting magics, and I chased him. His the young boy who was with him escaped. That's probably how you heard about Sir Terrafor being slain by the bear, Sir Clarion.
Mhm.
Um, and I cursed him after capturing him, after that coward surrendered, actually. And cursed him to stay in the form of this tree. Every night he turns into a tree. If he loses, if he remains standing, that is, if he is prevented from dancing, or he loses his energy, or he runs out of energy, uh, his roots will dig into the earth and he'll become a tree forever. Thus, he is cursed to dance. And when he becomes a human in the morning, he is exhausted. I always
Huh.
drive him back.
Does your daughter still wish to marry him?
I do not think that you would convince this man of betrayal to do so.
Well, give me a moment and I will go speak to him. As this is supposed to be a joyous time of year, maybe there is a solution amongst us. With your permission, I'd like to speak with him, and I will tell him the terms. He may either remain as a tree for the rest of his life in in the court of now King Arthur, or he can have his form back, marry your daughter, and either serve the king or serve you for the rest of his life, and or both. It is your choice.
And if he does not agree, he will become a tree.
Forever in the court of King Arthur.
And you will return with an army, I am sure, to deal with me. So therefore, you will not leave.
Why would I do such a thing?
That is what you people do.
That
You
is not what I do.
you
I
hunt
was
witches.
taught
You
long
hunt
ago
witches
by
in the
my,
forest. You
I have no weapons drawn. I simply wanted to speak with you, and I spoke to him first without having any weapons drawn. I was taught by my family that if you are a living, breathing creature, tree, animal, dirt, bird, worm, then you have the right to speak
unless you're a
on
pict,
your own behalf.
unless you're a
Hmm?
pict, unless you're a
Unless,
pict.
unless you're a Pict, and then I will kill you. If you have any problems with Picts, I am the knight for you.
Clary,
And it
you'll
was
turn
our
to the squires, like kind of stretching the definition of breathing there on that one, huh?
Stretching the definition of breathing. Oh yeah. Does dirt breathe, my lord? All right. So Claire, you gonna do anything?
I'm just making sure everybody's under control, not doing anything reckless.
All right.
Seems like Dim Linnell is talking. I'm only hearing one side of the conversation, but it sounds like we're gonna have some chatting with the tree to do soon enough.
All right. Well, I think the bear says, "Well, I give you a day, and
well,
if not, we will
if
meet again. But it will not be peaceful." And it darts off.
would you rather stay here for one moment and let me go talk to the tree, give him his options? Then you will know when you leave what his choice is.
Nope.
Okay.
That's what the bear does. It bounds off into the forest.
She'll pick up the meat that she had because, that is after all her ration.
Yeah.
And she'll walk over to Clarion and say, okay, that tree is in fact Sir Terrafor. And he was supposed to marry the Bear Witch's daughter and refused to. And that broke the heart of the Bear Witch's daughter. So he's now a tree and he has to dance. And if he stops dancing, he becomes a permanent tree, but he will turn into a human here in a little bit.
You see that
And
the tree that is their terrafor is like shaking, you know, terrified.
so
But still
there's a
dancing.
couple there's a couple of choices for Sir Terrafor. He can remain as a tree the rest of his life, dancing, and then exhausted the next morning, or he can marry the Bear Witch's daughter and he can stay with us in the court of King Arthur as a knight. It would be his choice. What do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. If the You're telling me the bear is a witch?
Yes, she can shapeshift and she can take a human form, she can be a bear, she turned him into a tree. So this is not a curse that Merlin can break.
Mm. Well, yeah, I guess we can talk to him and, tell him he's got to make right, you know.
Yes. So we can continue to sleep now, and then in the morrow, when he's in human form, we can lay out his choices to him if you wish, if you think that's the best course of action.
Seems like you said he's gonna turn back into a person.
Yes. And he'll be very exhausted, but I'm sure he can speak with us.
Okay, well, yeah, we can do that. Seems like.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe we should leave somebody on watch just to make sure he doesn't like try to run off or something when he turns back into a person.
That's a very good plan.
I guess Braun listens to your tale and he goes, I will make sure he does not leave. Puts a couple arrows down in the ground.
Yeah.
Because this
Good
way I can
plan.
fire 5 every 2 rounds.
Exactly.
Well, you know what I mean. Hyperborea
Yeah.
reference.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Weapon mastery plus an extra.
Mhm. All right. So anyway, he would volunteers to take the last watch. The rest of you, honestly, I mean, in this Bear Witch's forest, you could probably take your armor off and get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, probably will. Because Linnell is not afraid of the animals.
Okay.
This
So the
is the
night,
second time that she's not been afraid of the animals. So
right. All right. So the night is uneventful. The rest of the night is uneventful. Uh, your squires wake you up,
good morrow, Patrick.
and oops. And in the morning, you see an exhausted with Braun sort of standing nearby. Says, "Don't you move, good. You don't you move, good sir. I know you are, sir, but
Well, Braun, why don't you take some time to get some rest now? Rest and then feast with us when you awaken,
says,
as you have done a wonderful job.
yes, madam." Because by the way, I am just a lowly hunter, but I am a yeoman looking for work. No, okay. Anyway,
Uh,
because
yes,
I appreciate you looking out for the common folk, Sir Clarion, Dame Linnell.
of course. So, Clarion, did you want to speak with Sir Terrafor first, or do you want me to? It's up to you.
The Terraforce is exhausted. He goes, "We gotta leave. We gotta get out of here. We can take that." Well, he goes, actually, he didn't say we. He says, "You can take that bear down. That bear witch. She's evil, evil. Look what she did.
She doesn't
Look at
sound
the
evil to
curse.
me. I had a wonderful discussion with her last night, and she seems
It is,
quite lovely.
it is trickery. The evil witch
I
cursed
have
me and left this vicious bear to guard me until I turn into a tree forever." He mentioned nothing about the relationship.
That's interesting, Sir Terrafor, because apparently you're in this situation because of your own actions with her daughter.
Do you say anything, Siclarian? Or what's your
I'm just waiting for Terraform to say all of his, I'm not going to point out that he said that the witch left the bear to guard him, but Linnell was able to talk to the bear directly, and so she obviously knows that it's the witch herself.
Yes.
I'm waiting for the cross-examination period.
um, so Terraform goes, "That witch is a shapeshifter. She can be an old crone. She could be a lovely woman. She is tricking me." Uh,
Ah,
uh,
I think that's quite interesting. Why don't you tell me what relations you had with her daughter and why you refused to marry the young lady?
okay. Yeah, I guess this is a, I don't know. I wonder, is there a counter to, I guess you could roll intrigue or your own deceitfulness to see if he's lying. But I
Roll
mean,
this.
I don't know. Or you can assume that he's lying.
I'm pretty certain he's lying.
So you don't have to roll. I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
If
actually,
she,
it's up to you. You don't have to do any. It's up to you. Do you believe the Bear Witch, or do you believe the Terraform?
I 100% believe the Bear Witch.
Well, so that's what Terraform says. You know,
Yeah.
do you, but do you
Look,
accuse him?
Terraform, here's the thing, is you're seem like you're not really in condition to go away right now, right? We're not gonna
You
fight.
can escort me out.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that, just to be clear. Um, so like to put it pretty clear, you don't seem to have like a whole, right? Aristotle divides up rhetoric into three parts, and one of the parts is ethos, and that's basically how trustworthy a person is. You read any Aristotle recently, Sir Terrafor? And you're going to say no because you've been turned into a tree. And this is my point, is that if you hadn't done something bad and got yourself turned into a tree, you might have had a chance to read some Aristotle. And so you'd know how to make your case better here. But right now, it doesn't seem like you've got a chance to do that. So I think what you should do is marry the nice young lady who apparently was like a big fan of yours and you spurned and all that sort of stuff. And then you get to be a human again in the best court around.
Oh, Sir Clarion, Maybe for the king's Christmas present, he could marry the witch's daughter, who I'm sure she has the name that you'll be telling us soon, and we could have a grand wedding for the court. Wouldn't that be lovely for this festive Christmas holiday?
That's a great suggestion, Dame Linnell.
It's great. I could take her dress shopping, and you could take Sir Clarion to get a nice outfit to wear.
And then you wouldn't have to be a tree anymore, buddy. And that seems pretty good too, right?
And even better than that, Sir Clarion, he'd have the best mother-in-law around because no one would mess with him.
That's true. Also an important consideration.
I
But
see
Sherpa says,
nothing but positives.
why would I marry a girl of the woods? She is beneath me.
Well,
Well,
I'm not sure if that's true because you're going to end up being a tree pretty soon if you don't do anything else.
yes. Your choice is marry her or go with us, at which point in time we will plant you and you will be a tree permanently. Those are your choices.
Okay.
Well, but also broadly speaking, Sir Terrafor, I don't know how much time you had to spend in King Arthur's court, but if you had spent more time, maybe by not getting yourself turned into a tree, by doing all these, nasty things, you might have heard about, King Arthur likes to tell people about, like the value of honor and chivalry and the idea that, knights are a different sort, but they're not necessarily inherently better than other people, right? The virtue is what makes a person better than someone
He,
else.
he starts to run.
All right, I'm gonna try tackling.
Okay. Go for it.
All right.
Um,
And she's brawl.
yeah, I think it's a brawl. I'm trying to think. Is he? Well, he's unarmored, but that doesn't matter anymore. Yeah.
Well,
But
I thought, I
He's
would
also
think
not very
that he
well
doesn't have,
rested, so
Oh, he's exhausted. That's true.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a bonus. Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I'll give you +5. That seems
All right.
and if he runs from us, he's going to come across a bear too.
No.
all right.
Linnell, you can try to grab him.
Oh, I definitely will attempt to. Is there a way for her to use something other than brawling? So, like perhaps, I mean, like the blunt end of my sword, or
He
I
also
guess
doesn't
just,
have a horse, so you could just get on horseback and run him
Yeah,
down
you
if
can
you
get
really
on
want
horseback
to.
and run him down if you want. Then you get a +5 also, but
okay,
you can
so
have Braun shoot him. Braun will try to shoot him.
well, I think Braun will kill him. So just charge him with my lance.
Well, you have to jump
No,
on the
don't do
horse.
that.
No. So get on. So give me a horsemanship check.
Horsemanship.
Yeah, horsemanship. Oh,
No,
all right. So
I guess I'm brawling.
well, he's running through the woods. I mean, but you'll be able to catch him up. But like basically what I was rolling for is like you jump on your horse, no problem, but you're not able to catch up to him this time.
Yeah.
Right. So Braun has an arrow. Do you want Braun to take a shot?
No, I know. I mean, he's on foot and he's exhausted, so we're gonna catch him pretty quick.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, Braun could always shoot the arrow in front of him to send a message.
Okay. Yeah, Braun will do that.
Are you okay with that, Sir Clarion?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't miss, that seems like a
Yeah,
good plan.
it's just
Yeah, well,
don't hit him.
I'm not gonna roll to see if you know what I mean? Well, I guess he could fumble.
We'll have
He
to
does
do
not.
first aid on him. He'll look terrible for his wedding.
So Citra goes, ah! Yeah, so you can corral him eventually, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys get both, well, I guess Linnell can cut him off and you can catch up to him eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And if you follow the tracks, the bear tracks are much more apparent now. Like
Yes.
in fact, it looked like the bear kind of stopped, dug in a little bit, stopped, dug in a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Mhm.
dug. So it's a very clear trail to follow if you wish. And I guess you're able to force Terrafor in that direction if you wish. Like
Can we just
um,
tie him to our horse?
You could tie him to the horse, or you could like, you know, march him, like grab him with by both arms and march him forward. It's up to you. However you want to do it. With your, I mean, you're
I think
sparring
we
him
should
for your
talk to
horse.
him again because
Okay.
I
Yes.
think what we should say, I'm going to say, look, Sir Terrafor, I get that you're worried about turning into a tree permanently, but we gave our word, or I guess Linnell gave our word to the bear lady that we would, figure out how to make you do the right thing. So if you don't do the right thing, then it's on our honor to make it right. And that isn't going to work, obviously, for us. So we're not going to let you go, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Just,
What I rolled for him was his honor, and he
yeah,
nailed it. So that's why he ran. So,
yeah.
he's at a I guess
Yeah. So you're
crisis,
going to
an honor
say, well,
crisis.
but it would be better for me not to be a tree. And I'll say, yeah, it would be better for you not to be a tree, Sir Terrafor. So go marry the nice lady. And you're like, oh, well, she's below my station. And it's like, well, A, that's why we don't flirt with peasants unless we mean it. And B, doesn't matter because your station is going to be a whole lot lower when you're a tree and can't do anything. So,
Right. Okay. So
Period.
I guess you can make a. So give me. I'll just use orate, I guess, to. It's a compelling argument, so I'll give you a +5. He's exhausted. You chased
all
him
right.
down, so I'll give you a +5 for your orate, and
All
then
right.
Amy, you guess you can work. You can roll a flirting, and maybe I'll give you a hint of what maybe could be an option if Sir Terrafor is.
I do not want to
Um,
flirt with him.
no, you're not.
I
It's flirting in that like you would know about how this sort of thing works.
okay, well, I don't have a lot in flirting, but
Did
I'm
you
successful.
fumble?
I'm very good at
I did
flirting.
fumble the orate.
Oh,
That's okay. I'm good with flirting.
all right. He's gonna try to headbutt you.
Me?
No, Sir Clara and
Oh,
Sir Terrafor is gonna try to headbutt you because you insult me. You know,
well, Dame Linnell
motherless,
would
you
pull him
motherless son of a
back.
pig.
Hmm.
All right. But Dame Linnell, well, I'll get you your information in a second, but we gotta resolve this. He tries to headbutt you,
Yep.
Clara. So it's up
I'm
to you.
gonna try to essentially, catch him as he does it and do like a judo throw over one hit.
Okay. Yeah. So you'll get a +5.
All right.
Like a 9. You succeeded. Uh, no,
Lin
I'm gonna say it's a fail. Well,
Linnell's gonna lean
what's a
over to
base
Clarion
brawling?
and say,
What's a base brawling for a knight?
Probably 10, I
10.
think.
All right. All right. So he headbutts you, but it's not gonna
Yep.
do anything
Yeah.
because if you're wearing your
careful.
helmet, you're not gonna do anything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's,
Yeah. Put the armor back on in the morning. So it's,
let me see.
Yeah.
Well, we could see. I could roll really well. It might be funny. 12 points of damage. You got a
12 points of damage
you got a partial
is
success.
and I got a partial success. I guess it depends on if I get my shield or not.
Yeah, yeah, you can have your sheet.
All right. Well, in that case, I am not. I'm, yeah, just fine.
Okay,
I would have taken 2 if I didn't have any bonus protection, but yeah.
okay.
All right. So then I'm gonna,
Well, I guess
well, I guess I'll let Dame Linnell go first.
so now you're like, well, even if the woman, so let's say that he had a tryst with the woman. I guess I'm using flirting as like about the love stuffs, right? And how that works, even not courtly love. So anyway, let's say the and even so, say so Terrafor does not want to respond in kind to the woman's affections. She could probably see the rationale and reasoning behind it. So an alternative could be, as long as the witch is satisfied that the daughter is not really truly hurt, um, then it could be okay. You don't have to force necessarily Sir Terrafor to marry her. He just needs to like ask for her forgiveness or something for being, you know,
Well, Linnell
or
would say
misleading. I guess
that,
misleading the girl, right?
well, Linnell would tell him, Sir Terrafor, I currently am interested in a knight myself, and the chivalrous thing to do would be to be generous with your affections, and when you have wronged somebody, apologize and ask for forgiveness. Why are you unwilling to do that?
What would that be? What's the
Because
what's the appropriate?
maybe,
Well, I need to
maybe
appeal.
because maybe because of the way you have acted, Sir Terrafor, maybe the witch's daughter no longer wishes to have such a despicable person that's lower than her. Have you thought about that?
What would that be for
Yeah,
forgiving
forgiving versus vengeful
for him?
for him,
Okay.
maybe. Or what else? Yeah, forgiving.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe, well, not really generous, but although,
All
or
right.
maybe
Okay.
just.
Well, he makes it either way, right? If it's 10,
Okay.
10, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, he's like, well, okay. Well, I guess I should, Sir Clarion, do you want to do anything? Because he did headbutt you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna wait and see what he says to Linnell because I've got a response as well if he doesn't respond well to that.
Um, it's like, I guess it would be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Perhaps I've been a tree too long and my head is full of leaves. He tries to make a joke
Perhaps.
and smirks.
But you were interested in her once. Is it only because of her station that you are no longer in love with her? Because she could give you the ability to have heirs and a life of happiness. I mean, think about it. What's better in this world than the love of another person? You could sit by the fire holding hands. You could go wassailing with her. You could bring in the Yule log and tell your children stories about how you became a tree once. They may not believe you. You could even join a dancing competition.
He's like, I still think it is beneath my station, but I will ask for her forgiveness. All right. So
All right.
I
the
would
bronze says,
say
look, these tracks are easy to follow, my lords.
yes. Well, I would ask Clarion
And the
if
work
he
party is
is
like,
not.
they're not digging up the tree
No, you guys can return home. Um,
in these crazy woods with that bear out there.
but don't worry, you're still getting paid. And Linnell would lean to Clarion because we still have this guy tied up. He would be
Well,
stripped
I
of
don't.
Well, I
his,
don't think he's tied up.
He's
He's
not tied up.
just,
He's not tied up, but he's not running.
yeah.
yeah. I would say he would be stripped of his title of sir, correct? Because he's not chivalrous. And
There's really
he
no
did not
chivalry right now.
Well, and
say
there's
what?
also not really a procedure for that sort of thing, unfortunately. It's kind of, once you make knight, you never really get it taken away, no matter how badly you
I mean,
act.
if he had done this to you, perhaps there would be some sort of loss of honor and sanction because Dame Linnell is a noble woman. But
Well, or, more likely he would stay a knight. He would just get punished as.
a, a dastardly knight
Mhm.
or that reputation.
Much like
Right.
Sir Thomas Mallory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. So I guess you follow the tracks.
Yeah, let's follow the tracks. And he can walk.
Mhm.
Did did Braun remain with us or did he go back with everybody?
Uh, Bronze, oops, Bronze is with you guys.
Okay.
You can scoot over and see that a tree has appeared. All right, a cottage has appeared in the forest.
Mm.
You scoot over.
Oh yeah.
So I guess you guys are, yeah. Bronze probably leading the way to following the trail, and then
Linnell is still going to be working on Sir Terrafor the whole way there, talking about how as a woman, when you fall in love and you think you're in love with someone and then they shiest you like this, she may forgive you, but she may ask for other repercussions. And so what other repercussions will you offer her if she does not accept your apology?
Okay. So you go. So I guess you go. The tracks lead to the cottage.
Mhm.
Um. So all right. So who goes? So I guess Braun knocks on the door.
Mhm. Linnell will lean back to Clarion and say, "Now we don't get the wedding I wanted. We needed
Well,
a
we
wedding
still
first."
might.
Yeah, it all depends, but he seems to not be very good. He's not a very good knight.
No,
All right.
that's very true.
All right. So this woman. Nope. No one answered the door because it fell to the back layer.
Mhm.
That woman answers the door.
Is this
Uh,
the one that was the bear or the daughter?
well, you don't know yet. You guys can
Okay.
attempt an awareness check as well. This is definitely like you can see like the pagan, accoutrements around the lintel, and there's definitely like a garden with herbs and other things. Uh, it's probably a
I'm
cellar,
not,
grows mushrooms. So
yeah, I'm not
Clarion,
aware of
yeah, you
that.
can finally check your awareness. There is a bear watching you with scrutiny in the woods.
Hmm.
So this is the one that he shysted. I would think Linnell is paying attention to Terrafor and not the rest because she figures,
Right.
yeah.
So, all right. So this woman comes out. You see she starts running towards him, and he tries to take a step behind you, Sir Clarion, like in a cowardly way to hide behind you.
Yep, not gonna let him do that.
Mm-mm.
Do the classic,
Mhm.
hand right on the upper back, push him forward.
So okay, so she comes forward, she runs, she kind of sees that he's kind of reluctant, kind of, even though you push him forward. I mean, I don't know how well you could force him, I guess.
Well, I am strength 13 and size 15.
Okay. Yeah, I say like you push him forward, and then when she can gauge the room. She sees you, Sir Clarion. She sees Braun kind of gives a nod to the lady as she runs past him, but then she can gauge um, Sir Terrafor's reaction, his reluctance. So she kind of stops and she says, "So you have not come for me, Sir Terrafor. I have kept your sword and your shield." And he says, and he kind of doesn't want to look at her as you kind of turn his head, I guess, towards her.
Hmm. I'm gonna tap him again and sort of whisper, "You might as well kneel and be contrite."
All right. So he does so because Vivian, yes, we had a romance, but alas, I cannot wed you. You're a woods woman. Your mother is a witch.
Linnell would like to speak up and say, Sir Terion, nothing that you have said so far are things that cannot be remedied. If this is truly love, let love win out. If it's not love, do what you came here to do, which is not insult this beautiful woman.
But I don't love her.
You
And
are showing yourself to be below her station right
but
now, and that is not what we are here to do.
but as she kind of starts tearing up, but I ask for your forgiveness for misleading you. I guess he kind of looks at up, tried to look up at Sir Clarion to see if that's the right thing to say. She does run into the cabin though, crying.
Linnell would nod at the bear and then go into the cabin after her.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I think we should split the party here, and I'm gonna try to work on Sir Terrafor again.
Okay. All right. So the bear kind of comes out, stomping a little bit.
I'm gonna imagine Sir Terrafor starts, and I'm just gonna grab him and Not let him run away from the bear.
Okay. All right. He does. He you hold him. I mean, he doesn't. He actually does not cower.
Well, that's good.
But I guess he says, I will accept my punishment as it is. Yeah, he's probably hoping that she'll kill him. The bear witch will kill him, but you know,
Mhm. Well, that's,
that would be
pretty much the
merciful.
first actually honorable thing you've said all day, Terrafor.
But I mean, okay. The bear is just like watching. She's like the bear is like
Yeah, I
looking at the
know. I figure
cabin,
she's not.
looking at you. Just kind of stomps a little, digs in a little bit.
Mhm.
Ron probably like moves back. He's like looking at you. Got his hand on his quiver.
Yeah. Don't do anything, Braun. Bear's gonna be okay. Look, Terrafor. Remember the deal we made, right? You have to make right with the lady. You know, you seem to think for some reason that your station is, particularly above the people who can do magic, which seems pretty foolish to me. But, however it is that you see it, you still do have to, make right with the nice woman if you ever want to, see your own estate or wherever it is that you live again. So better talk to her again and be like actually contrite this time instead of just going through the motions. Because, women are good at being able to tell that sort of thing. And if you can't make the deal, we're just going to leave you in the woods to turn into a tree. So, again,
All right. All right. So Dame Linnell will switch
Mhm.
to you. So you run after Vivian
Yes,
into the house.
yes.
All right.
My lady, my lady.
Clearly, I'm not
I,
a lady.
what makes you not a lady? Are you not beautiful and contrite and honest and forthcoming? Makes you a lady in my book. You're just as much a lady as I am. And I am actually a lady and a knight.
I did
But
not.
I wish to know what you would like us to do. We offered your mother offered to allow him to marry you and live his life with you as he should, or he can live his life as a tree planted in the ground in King Arthur's court, at which point in time, if you wish, I would tell you could come and stay at my manor and maybe even decorate his tree for the holiday season, if that's the way he wants to go.
All right.
So
Wow, that's interesting that you say that. Okay. Well, she kind of, you know, as you are nice to her and compliment her, she says, "Look, I've always wanted to live in a castle. My mother was just protecting me from that mean man who clearly does not love me. So what is the point? I will forgive him, but only if," she goes, "only if that other knight could marry me. Or, well, you said you were a knight and had a manor. I could be on staff in your home."
I would not put you on staff. You are not any woman that needs to be beneath another woman. As I see it, you are already the woman of a cottage here, which is a manor of your own. I would love for you to come and live in the manor with me and live amongst us. And I would beg to say Sir Terrafor is beneath you. If he cannot see and realize this about you, that is his loss and your gain.
All right. Well, I will let you attempt, since I forced poor Arlen to make an orate roll after that good speech, I will do the same for you, also with the +5. But
I will most likely fail at it because I
uh,
have yet to make an orate, but we'll see. Yep, I failed by one. This is when I would like
you did
fate
not
point.
fumble though.
I didn't fumble, I only missed by one. But
Well, she says, "What is that knight's name? The one with the red shield?"
Sir
Is
Clarion.
that Sir Clarion? She goes, "Well, if you make an introduction."
I cannot speak for his interest in you, but I will certainly make an introduction. It is between the two of you where that goes. But I would dare say he would never see you as below his station as Sir Terrafor has. I find that quite despicable.
He goes, "Well, do you think I should forgive this Sir Terrafor?" She points to his like shield and sword. I do not
What
need
you
I do not need those things anymore. I do not know why I've wasted my time polishing his sword.
you have wasted your time, over somebody who's not worth it. And forgiveness is for you. It makes you feel better. It gives you the power. He is nothing without your forgiveness. So therefore, he is definitely beneath you.
Okay. Well, she will go out. I mean, you can see his armor, his armor and weapons are there. So, Linnell, if you want to return those to Sir Terrafor, it's up to you.
I will hold them
Okay.
because as a tree, he doesn't need that.
Do you tell Sir Clarion what she would like or not?
I'll tell him that she would like an introduction to him because she's thinks you're rather cute.
Well, that's awfully nice of her. Not sure why she thinks that, but kind of her to say, I guess.
All right.
Hmm.
Okay. Right. So she comes out. Sir Clarion, anything in
I'm
particular?
just gonna, you know, similar thing, kind of push him on the back, and this time I'm just say authentic contrite this time.
Mhm.
Right. He looks at the
Well,
bear. He looks at her. He goes, "Vivian, I am sorry for misleading you. It is
and
contrite."
before she answers,
That's his modesty.
Linnell Linnell would be standing over here, by the way,
Hmm.
next to her.
Okay.
I mean, she would have done the introduction and then gone back over there.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Vivian says, "Well then, I forgive you, Sir Terrafor. You may leave now." The bear then changes form.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Nope, bear's still there. I lied.
That's okay.
Oops.
I mean, while the bear is figuring out what the bear is going to do, Linnell would turn to Vivian and say, you know, I do say that Sir Terraform is beneath you. You are a proper lady, and I appreciate you showing him that you are the better person by offering your forgiveness.
Sir Terrafor glares at you.
I will glare right back. For
Okay.
you are no noble knight to me. That is despicable the way you have acted. And I will report to King Arthur how you have acted. That is, if you are allowed to remain as a man.
All right. Well, I guess he stands up. He says, "Well, I take my arms and go then."
No, I didn't say you can have your shield and your sword back. To me, those are Vivian's now. You left them. And as you know, those are hers to keep. You need to earn those again, and you certainly aren't earning them here now. And Linnell would refuse to give them.
He looks at Sir Clarion. Sir Clarion, this is preposterous.
I mean, all I will say, Sir Terrafor, is that she does have a point about, traditionally having to ransom your gear back after you're defeated. And I don't know what you would call being turned into a tree other than that. right? That's how we treat knights. So, maybe leverage your station to get a loan if you can't afford to buy it out of pocket.
Right. And, uh, and then Vivian says, uh, Dame Linnell, were you going to introduce me to?
To a real knight, of course. My Lady Vivian, this is the Sir Clarion.
So Clara
He
didn't do anything.
he's
Oh,
a very chivalrous and noble knight in the service of King Arthur, Lord of this land.
I think Vivian Liddell overstates my qualifications. So that,
He's always modest.
it's
Yeah,
very nice to meet you, certainly.
right. Okay. I guess should I don't know if I should do that. Well, I guess we even say, well, Linnell said either I could find a husband and live in the castle. She points in the direction of Carleon, or
In the manor or in
or
Clarion.
help her with her manor.
Yes.
Well, I don't think you should have to like, work for Liddell. Did you like you gonna employ her as a steward or something? Is that or
I told her that she could live in the manor as an equal to me in
That's
station.
probably
I
true.
never stated that she would be an employee. She may come and go as she wishes.
well, that
She is,
sounds good. I mean, you seem Vivian, you seem like, nice lady and therefore, right,
I guess so Terraform says, can I just go now?
no, that is up to Vivian and her mother as to what happens now. You made
Well,
your choice. The choice that you had was remain as a tree or marry Vivian.
well, okay, wait a second. I think we talked about the idea that right, one the ultimate fate of Sir Terrafor ought to rest with Vivian, and I would,
well, Vivian says you have shown me that he is well.
you don't want to marry him. He's a bum.
No,
Come on,
no,
this guy.
you don't want
Yes.
him.
Well, I agree. She sips her tea. Yeah, there and
Yeah.
uh, the witch says he is free to go. She kind of has been doing some sort of drawing or ritual in the ground while watching. He will no longer be a tree, but he
Okay.
best leave. He best leave lest he take roots in a different way. And
Dame Linnell
she
would
growled.
let the witch know that she is welcome to visit my manor whenever she wishes to see the conditions that her daughter will be living in, and hopefully someday we'll be there to attend my own wedding too. A fine night that I've kind of beaten in battle twice, but we won't talk about that.
Right. So I guess out of character, is there Claren any interest in courting Sir Vivian or
Yeah, I think so. I was trying to figure out how I could because I was gonna be like, oh well, maybe I could send her letters and stuff, and then we found out that I'm illiterate, so that's probably not a good solution. Um, but I guess
I'm
if
sure you
she's
can
gonna stay
hire
at
a
Dame
page.
Linnell's, well,
She's
yeah,
staying there. I
yeah,
mean,
if
you
she's
can
gonna
hire
stay
a
at Dame
page.
Linnell's Mariner, I'm sure I can show up, you know,
And
be
I
like,
am sure at this moment in
yeah,
time
you don't have to
that
do a
Jamie,
love for you don't have to do a love thing yet, but
yeah,
um,
I'm sure Jamie's staying with you, and Jamie can certainly scribe for you if you need him to. He's literate.
that's probably true.
that's true.
He'll
I
be your
probably ought to
spirit
learn
animal.
to read at some point, it
Yeah,
seems
that's
like.
probably a good idea. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, so Vivian kind of grabs her stuff. Are you going to take Sir Terraform into custody? Is that what we're doing? Or I don't understand what we're doing.
I think he can
That's,
just go, right?
Yeah, he's gonna go.
well, Dame Linnell wants to ask Sir Clarion
I see.
what we should do with the shield and the sword. Should we sell it and the proceeds go to Vivian? Then she has money to live off of?
Uh, I mean, I guess I think let's let Sir Terrafor have a chance to buy his gear back, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do. And we'll just
Right.
make it clear to him that, if he isn't going to do it, then we'll just sell it. And, either way, that'll be money for Vivian's dowry or whatever she needs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the bear kind of follows Sir Terrafor out. I guess maybe he'll make it, maybe he won't.
Well,
Unarmed. But the bear is not, the bear gives you her word, Dame Linnell, that she will not eat him. That is not to say that other animals of the forest might not do the same.
He
And
is asking for that when he chose this path. I'm just
and
happy that we could be of service.
and there are storm clouds on the horizon. A snow might be coming.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
I think Linnell would be merciful enough to have given Sir Terrafor the blanket. So he'd at least have something to sleep on.
Okay.
I mean, she's not heartless, but she's not giving him back what he's not entitled to.
All right. Um, okay.
And Dame Linnell is going to lean over to Sir Clarion and say, I guess I have yet another person I get to shop for. And we still have to figure out what to get the king. Because now we don't have a dancing tree.
Okay.
Maybe the story will be worth something to the king.
I think so. I think it might. Okay. So all right, so I guess you go back to Carleon and go back to
Mhm.
Mhm.
court. Vivian comes with you. She grabs all her gear. For now, the witch, the bear witch, stays here in the woods. She'll be fine. Um, right.
Well,
I
she
guess
has,
Vivian.
she
So Vivian
has,
kind of talks about how her mother has taught her great industry and horticulture, and of course much about folklore. Um, she seems to be very extremely honest, maybe to the point of being sometimes too honest or uncomfortable. Um, and she what is the other trait that you note of hers? Also, I gotta say, note she is notably honest. Is Vivian, and what was the other stat there? Uh, and actually, it seems very generous. You get that out of her too. Um, so, as an extreme love, she has no idea who her father was, but extreme love for her mother and family. Um, the bear kind of escorts you and follows you out of the woods, waves a paw as you leave. Dame Linnell, the bear says, "Take care of my daughter." Pass
you
that,
are welcome
pass
to
that
my
on
humble
to
abode.
pass it on to Sir Clarion. Hopefully, he will not want to be a tree anytime.
I assure you, ma'am, he is a noble knight.
All right, so
I said nothing incorrect.
snow does come the next day. I'm gonna roll.
I gave him a blanket.
Yeah. You think Sir Terrafor must have gotten lost? You are right. He does not. You get to Clarion before he does. You know. I don't think you're gonna let him right. See if he can get there on his own. Correct.
Yeah,
Okay. Not try to hunt for him.
I
no.
don't know. I kind of feel like we should go if it snowed and we've got our huntsman with us
Yeah.
on retainer. Maybe we should, seems like that's the right thing to do to at least
Okay.
make sure he gets back to civilization.
Yeah. I'll give you your choice. Merciful. You can give a merciful check. I think that seems merciful to me.
Merciful.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Linnell sees him
Unless
as no
unless
better
Dame
than a picked.
unless Dame Linnell says, you go do it, Sir Clarion.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is that, like, obviously he's not like a good person, but we also want to give him a chance to grow instead of.
He could see the errors of his ways, and I do need somebody to clean out the stables because, Christmas is coming, and I think that'd be a wonderful gift for Patrick not to have to do that.
Okay.
Well, and I'd hate for Vivian to be sad if he died.
All right. So definitely you find him. He has he found shelter? No, alas, he is suffering from exposure when you do track him down. Uh, but you're able to um, at least he won't die, but he might lose some fingers or toes.
Can I do first aid on him or medical or something?
No, he probably need a children to properly remove some of his frostbitten hands or
Mhm.
toes. It's okay. It's a punishment for his.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
wrap him up in an extra cloak and put him across a horse and get him
Yeah,
at least back to civilization.
right.
mm-hmm. Well, is Vivian on the horse with you, Sir Clarion? If so, you can just strap him to the back of my horse.
Yep.
Well, she wouldn't want to go out into the snowstorm, surely, right? I mean, I guess she might if she's like at home in the forest. I don't know.
I think at this moment
Does
in
she
time,
want to go out into the snowstorm or not, Carl?
Um, I I mean, she says she knows the forest and perhaps she knows the forest well, so I think she
Oh,
probably
that's a good point. That's a good point.
would maybe help and could help locate him. She says, "I see your example, and I too will. I have forgiven him, and I will stick to it. He should not. He 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 does. When I think about it, he has suffered much for all this time under my mother's curse. Let us not let him have an ignoble death in the cold." All right, so you do rescue Sir Terrafor, bring him back to court.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess you want to, I guess, tell your tale as a gift to Arthur.
Yeah, because all the knights come back and they're supposed to tell about their adventures over the past year,
Okay.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But we can't
So,
really tell about bringing the gifts because that was a secret mission. So this
mhm.
is an adventure that we can tell about.
All right. So definitely, um, there's roasted goose, and so eventually Christmas comes, right? Roasted goose and partridge, salmon, dried cured hams. There is a boar's head, venison, cheese, eggs, even preserved, of
Mm.
course. Pastries galore. Um, so yeah, it's a lot. And of course, ale, meat, and wine to wash it all down with. There's music. There is entertainment. Part of the entertainment, if you wish, is you telling your tale of the dancing tree. Each of you can attempt an orate to see how well you do in court and if it's notable.
Let's go ahead and fail again. I'm not good at orate. Yeah, I fumbled it this time. I am so not into this story. I am looking at Jamie.
People don't believe you, but word does eventually come around that you do tell it, and it is definitely a tale of forgiveness and mercy when it boils down to it. Um, and of course, Vivian is there as proof that it did happen, even though, the telling of it wasn't so great. Um, and then, of course, your
And
mercy shown to even to Sir Terrafor, who I don't know if he will hold a grudge or not, but we will see.
does Linnell have a chance to give out her Christmas presents?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So
Interestingly,
she,
yeah, go ahead.
well, if you want to go first, you can go first. She was just going to pass out her gifts and say what they were, but that's okay.
Well, court is the winter court is where is it? Where is it? A strange knight asked for hospitality this Christmas court. He has an old Norman style armor. It's all brown, though not with rust, and his sword and spear both gleam. His shield is, of course, the kite shields that you have, but instead of a normal coat of arms, he has an oak branch attached to its face. He only has one squire, but he introduces himself as the Brown Knight of the Wilds, le Chevalier Brun des Terres Sauvages. He tells
Mm.
King Arthur, I have heard of your ideas of honor among men, and have come to see if this court is a court where such things are only spoken about or if they are acted upon. The tale that even your young knights have told gives me great encouragement that it is so. Arthur greets him warmly, invites him to sup at the board for the winter, and the Knight of the Wilds accepts.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you give out your gifts.
Yes. So she stitched a handkerchief for Sir Clarion with a C on it, and then she actually went out of her way to find gold thread to do it with for him.
Mhm.
And then for Jamie, she got leather riding gloves for him with the J on them because he already has all the rest of that stuff.
You know,
For Vivian, she would have gotten her a nice gown to wear to Christmas dinner.
wow.
Um,
Okay.
for Patrick, she would have hired someone to clean the stables for, for the winter season, so that way he doesn't have to. And she would have bestowed the same thing because I'm assuming that Sir Clarion's horse is in the same stable, so he would benefit from it. And then for the king, what she would have liked to have done if he would accept it would have been to make him, well, as best as she could, stitch him a leather cross that he could put next to his bedside in hopes that he'll remember each night that Christ is with us.
You know what we forgot to do? We should have rolled your passion to see if that before you rolled your orate, or even now, if you're
Mm.
gonna make a gift for the king, you can roll your passion before you roll your industry, right?
My passion, what homage to Lord Arthur?
Yep.
Yep, she failed.
Okay. All right. So you just roll your industry.
My what?
Your industry. I guess it's industry. No,
Industry.
your uh don't you I thought you had like something that you could make stuff.
Industry?
No.
I don't think, and I think that's a previous, I think maybe stewardship.
Yeah, stewardship. That's what it is. Stewardship. Is it stewardship? Yeah, stewardship.
I don't know. There used to be, I know, an industry, but
Industry. Yeah.
then because it was basically only like
Yeah, they've rolled
knights
a
didn't
lot.
really use it, so it was one of those weird extra skills.
Oh, hey, I
Made
finally
it though.
succeeded.
Mm.
Oh, that means you do not fall melancholy because you do succeed, and Arthur appreciates the gift greatly.
I apologize, my lord, that we could not get you something more grandiose, but seeing as you are a king that keeps everybody equal, what do you give a king that has everything but the ability to see how he's appreciated by others?
Yes, yes, this is true.
And my lord, you have given me much this year. You've made me your knight, and you've allowed me to stay, have Jamie stay. Well, she would have said Sir James, you know. And I am most grateful for you, and I wish you tidings of nothing but success in this year.
All right. Well, any last words, Sarah Clarion?
Oh, I guess I would during the celebrations, I would ask to for a dance with Vivian, so if
Okay,
that seems appropriate.
great.
I'm not very good at dancing, so that's also probably par for the course.
All right.
James has said nothing so far, Carl. He didn't even say thank you for his gifts.
Well, he says thank you for the gift because we should really talk about, well, you step on her feet.
Yeah.
She goes, we will have to remedy that. I know many folk dances. I do not think they are courtly dances, but we will teach you, Sir Clarion.
Well, yeah,
Thank you for your generosity. I, it is a competition to outdo you.
that's very kind of you to say.
Right. So Sir Jamie's very grateful. He does say, we really need to take this to the next level, Dame Linnell, in the new year.
For that, you may wish to ask the king's permission. Now is as good a time as any. As you know, my answer would be.
All right. So he does ask the king's permission then, and the king gives him, well, yeah, I think the king would give him permission. The king would give him permission to marry Dame Linnell, and that will have to be a tale for the new year. Perhaps it happens there during the Christmas feast. Again, the Knight of the Wilds is impressed by the court, and the tale does come, like I said.
If it does happen at the winter here,
Mhm.
Linnell would ask Arthur to do the favor of giving her away.
Because I'm too young to be your father, but
You are my lord.
are you sure you would not want Booth, your father's old squire, to do so? But I will do it if you as you ask. I
Booth is
guess
not my lord, but he is very appreciative. And someday I wish to go back to my homeland and maybe take possession of it to become your kingdom as well. But that is a story for another day.
yes, it is. So for the adventure of the dancing tree, you guys get 50 glory. And we won't do the checks or anything or winter phase now, obviously. We'll incorporate that into the next year of 512. And eventually the witch does come to court. She gets along famously with Merlin.
That doesn't surprise
She
me.
has a great interest in horticulture, as does Merlin. And Sir Clarion is highly commended, apparently. And you get another 15 glory. Sir Clarion, as the Bear Witch tells of your kindness and generosity.
Well, that's nice.
And
Where do I put
oh,
married?
I guess Amy, since you succeeded in the court thing, I guess that's like 10 glory. So, well, the gift to Arthur, and of course being presented at court. What your engagement to Sir Jamie or Sir James.
Well, I thought we were getting married, but that's fine. So
Well, it's engagement now. It's not. Yeah, you're engaged to.
engaged in 511 or 512?
Say at Winter Court, 511. Cool. All right. Well, that was our Christmas tale. I hope you guys enjoyed the adventure of the dancing tree. I almost said dancing bear. Although the bear probably does dance at some point,
I
seeing
mean,
that
she
her
came to
daughter,
court.
seeing that her daughter is well taken care of. Obviously, her daughter. I'll have to if you guys when you do get married to Sir James, you'll get a percentage of his glory. By the way,
Mhm.
Vivian probably has no glory, but hey, a witch as a mother-in-law is not a bad thing to have.
Mm.
But again, those are tales for another time. Any last words to my stalwart knights, Dame Linnell or Sir Clarion? Any last words?
Well, Dame Linnell would ask Jamie if he would not be insulted if she was to ask Clarion if he would dance with her for the new year too. Just because they're friends.
'Cause I don't know if he's your brother or what. I'm still very
He's
confused
he's just a good friend, don't worry.
because I'm not worried. And it looks like he's found a nice girl.
Yes, she's quite lovely, isn't she?
Well, I mean, there's that dirt behind the ears all the time, but
It happens. Oh, was that your next dancing there?
Hmm. That was my first
that's
dancing.
his
I
first.
think I, damn Liddell, I appreciate the invitation. I'm really not very much of a dancer, so
Oh,
you know.
as far as dancing with Dame Linnell, it is just literally wiggling back and forth. There's no actual movements. Basically just toasting a wassail cup. She doesn't
Like
expect
middle school, right?
middle school dancing, except we're not on the wall.
It's funny. All right. Anything else, Sir Clarion?
No, I don't think so. I guess I would figure out, do they have like tutors who could teach somebody to read, or like is there like a local abbey or a monastery or
Oh,
someplace?
well, definitely in Carleon there is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems like that would be useful long
Yeah,
term.
right. But I guess we
I
already did
mean,
our winter phase, so I guess
Yeah,
you'll have
yeah,
to
I just
save that.
wait.
You'll have to save that thought for the winter phase of 512.
Yeah. Well, it
well,
probably, takes a little while. It took me a little while in real life to learn to read too. So,
Okay.
Jamie knows how to read and write because he also has a station. I'm sure if he was staying with you, Clarion, he would have started teaching you how to read and write.
If you
mm.
if you ask.
Yeah,
He
I could
would
do
have.
that. Chat
Okay.
with
He
him
would have.
about it.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Arlen and Amy, for indulging me in this Christmas adventure, the adventure of the dancing tree. I hope it was fun. There was no combat. I thought maybe you guys are going to fight the bear, but that's okay. Sometimes
Oh no.
Pendragon
Linnell's not into that.
necessarily
Well, it's
always about combat. It's more of a tale, right? It's a
yeah. It's like the real like the main stories, right? Sometimes there's combat, sometimes there's lots of combat, and sometimes it's more about like, does Percival ask questions during the feast or not? Things like that.
Mhm. Right.
So this knight that came to dinner, is this Lancelot?
No, he is the Brown Knight, or the Knight of the Wilds. That's the name.
Oh.
I don't know what tale he has or what role he has yet in the tale, but that's just what happens at Winter Court.
Yeah.
Yep. So we found some very interesting things. I thought it was pretty fun. I threw some, we met, well, we didn't meet Queen Margaux, but we knew her in court. We hung out with Sir Gawain, saw him
Mhm.
interact with his brothers, learned that Sir Agravain might have a cruel streak. Maybe we'll see that again
Yeah.
one of these days. And had a good relationship with him. Sir Gawain seems to know about you guys and was maybe a little impressed. And then we had the adventure of the dancing bear. Again, you have caught Merlin's eye for some reason. I don't know if that's good or bad. You have impressed King Arthur again. Maybe not with your tale. Maybe it was kind of stuttered and broken, but eventually the word did get out of how you showed the knightly virtues of mercy, and modesty to bring these new people to court who are pretty interesting. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, my listeners, and our listeners, actually, because it's always a collaborative tale.
Oh, it's okay. Sir Garland sitting in the corner wondering why no one will talk to him, and he's forgotten that he's still invisible.
Who's that?
As he's the invisible knight that's going around killing people when Balin shows up and kills him.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, that's Balin, the Knight of the Two Swords.
Oh, well, we haven't
Sword,
met
Breast,
them.
and Sunder. I know we haven't,
We
but
haven't met
Garlon
them.
has got to be around, right? Because he's been doing bad stuff for a while. So
Oh,
the
wow.
joke is just an invisible knight sitting in the corner wondering why no one will talk to him at the feast.
Ah, well, maybe
Because
we'll
it
see.
was a tree.
No, well,
I
that's the
know. I know
terraform.
that's not him. I know that. I'm just joking.
Yep. I'll have to see what happens with Sir Terrafor, whether he holds a grudge or shows forgiveness as well. So perhaps an enemy we have made, or an ally, or maybe neither. Well, again, thank you everyone so much. We could keep we always find some little fun anecdote to add on to the end of these. But thanks again, Arlen and Amy. Thank you, my listeners. This has been the GMologist Presents. Good night and good rolling, and we'll see you next time in the worlds of King Arthur in the Pendragon RPG.
Thank you. Thank you.